Welcome to the Coffee Corner. I'm Father Cooper, and this is my guest, Jammie Truax. She is our Cemetery Sexton. So grab your favorite cup of coffee or a cup of tea. You know, some people like tea better. And let's get going. So today I have my mug. I have a crazy mug. I've had it for years, but it's my crazy mug. It has little beer stein goggles and crazy face. So it's Friday, so you know, crazy day. So all right, and then
I'm a tea drinker, so I have tea, and my cup says Cemetery Tour Crew, which that's what I do. I tour the cemeteries.
It's actually kind of crazy. She actually really does tour cemeteries. And when she first said it, I thought, you are crazy. I think that was exactly what I said to you.
Yes, multiple times.
But Jammie actually does a lot of, one of the things that you do is you film, not film, but you log for that website. What's the website called?
Find a Grave.
findagrave.com. And so it's each tombstone is pictured and logged, and so you can actually do genealogy things with that.
Yep.
So how did you get interested in cemeteries just in general?
So my family is Mexican, and they're from Nuevo Leon, Mexico, and Mexicans are very family oriented, and they pass down family stories. So they're already doing oral genealogy. So my mom and my aunt started doing paper genealogy back when you would have to drive state to state to get papers. And so I grew up around it and the stories coming from my grandmother. And so it just kind of overflowed into me. And then one day my mom handed me the boxes and says, "It's your turn." And so I took it over. And then when you're doing genealogy...
Hashtag family tradition.
That's right. Next generation. So when you're working on genealogy, a lot of times starting from the end and working your way backwards works better. So I found myself in cemeteries all the time. And then there's Find a Grave. And then I realized I can help other people. So now I can go into cemeteries, I photograph the entire thing, go home and spend my time at home. I upload every single photograph and everything that's written on the headstone.
Okay.
So other people around the world, if they decide to do their family history, they can go to Find a Grave, and I've already put in that information. It's like a launching pad to their family history.
That's really cool. You mentioned that you were from a Mexican background.
Yes.
And so one of the things that Mexicans do on the Feast of All Souls is they decorate graves. Can you tell just us a little bit about that decorating of the graves?
Yes, so that's Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead, and that is the day that is a day of remembrance of our family, because our families are very important and we don't want to forget anybody. So we set up like an ofrenda, which is an altar, and we put candles and their photographs up, and we put their favorite food in marigolds. Marigolds are very important because everything the smell is very strong.
Okay.
So we feel like it entices the spirit to come back for one day out of the year and visit with us, and we provide everything, all their favorite stuff to help them want to come back to visit us. Because maybe they don't.
You don't just leave the food there; you eat it too, right?
We do. Well, we eat too. It's a big celebration.
That's actually kind of really, so it's really just praying at the cemetery, offering, remember the dead, because one of the words remember is to bring back to life.
Yeah.
And so you literally bring them back to life in so many ways. Many times I've said it at graveside services is that dash that's in between the two dates is the whole memory of the life of the person, no matter how old they are, how young they are. You really can bring back the life of the person, and it's really quite beautiful to see their whole life kind of seen out, and then here's their final resting place. And sometimes you're like, how did you get here? You know, I think of my own family, like they came across from Germany before Germany was Germany. You know, it was just kind of and they ended up in upstate New York, and then from upstate New York.
I
hear, you're right, you're from New York. And then how, then my father met my mother, and then we end up in northern Michigan. Like, crazy, like, how does this happen? But it's really kind of neat to kind of see how this all kind of comes together. And really, you can find it all together at a cemetery. Who would have thought?
Right.
The whole month of November, just so you know, is dedicated to the month of the dead. We're every year, the whole month we dedicate to praying and remembering the dead. And one of the best things to do is to visit a cemetery. With that, typically during the month, during the octave of All Saints, so from November 1st through the 8th, there's the indulgence that's given. This year, Pope Francis extended that indulgence for the entire month of November, so it's really beautiful. And I don't want to get this wrong, so I'm going to read it to you, the indulgence part, because there's the extension of that. So to get the indulgence, you have to be free from the attachment of sin. You have to say a prayer, typically the Our Father, Hail Mary, or Glory Be, for the dead while at the cemetery. You pray the Creed, and then you pray prayers for the Holy Father. And then on top of that, you go to confession within a week and receive Holy Communion within a week for that intention. This is the extension that Pope Francis gave to the entire world, is that the Vatican has also said that because of the health emergencies, the elderly, the sick, and others who cannot leave their house for serious reasons can participate in the indulgence from home by reciting prayers for the deceased before an image of Jesus or the Virgin Mary. They must also spiritually unite themselves to other Catholics, be completely detached from sin, and have the intention of fulfilling the ordinary conditions as soon as possible, which is going to confession and receiving Holy Communion for that intention. So if you do that from home, make sure you write that down and say, as soon as I can, I'm going to go to confession and I'm going to go receive Holy Communion for that intention, so to receive that indulgence. You can receive an indulgence either for yourself or for someone who's dead, which is, so you can actually offer prayers for the person at the cemetery. Jammie spends a lot of time in the cemetery as our sexton. You spend a lot of time just in our cemeteries. What do you find the most beautiful thing about cemeteries?
Peace, calm, just the peacefulness and the calmness, and getting to know the people in the cemetery and their backgrounds. You can learn a lot just by looking at a headstone. But I also find it very interesting, the different culture. Every cemetery has a different culture and a different feel to it. And these cemeteries could be right across the street.
So from we have Resurrection,
Yes.
we have St. Mary's, and we have St. Thomas. And you're just telling, so there's three different kind of...
Totally different feelings.
What would be Resurrection's culture?
Resurrection is a very young cemetery, so you have a lot of trinkets and items, personal items that belong to these family members that have passed away. And it is very wide open, so you kind of just feel free. It's a very free feeling.
Okay.
But then when you go to St. Mary's, we're talking some burials took place in the late 1800s. So this is an old cemetery. So you're not going to find trinkets in section 1 or section 2 because
it's very true. Yeah,
they're like
I never
5
really thought about that.
generations away from them.
Yeah.
But then at St. Mary's you have a canopy. You have this canopy of trees. So it's almost like you're being hugged.
Yeah, well,
And
that's awesome. Yeah. She's actually explained things that I've actually felt when I'm at these two cemeteries, but haven't actually been able to put words to it. It's young, so there's people going to visit the cemetery.
Right.
This one's older. It doesn't gonna have that feel, but it has that comfort of peacefulness because
it feels aged.
Yeah. Like a good glass of wine.
Yeah. I get it.
And then St. Thomas is a little bit...
St. Thomas is silent.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want silence, that's the place to go.
Yeah.
But Elmira
It's in the middle of nowhere.
In the middle, right off a dirt road.
But
they have a really old section, which we don't bury there anymore because records weren't kept very well.
Okay.
But what's really an interesting fact about the old section, it was pre-vault. So if you walk in that section, there's kind of like a dip.
A little dip, okay.
Dips for every...
Literally dust to dust.
Yes.
And earth to earth. Yeah, wow, that's really kind of cool.
Which is very... You just feel very connected, in the circle of how it works,
Yeah, it's really kind of neat.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you need more information about the cemeteries, just in general, don't ever hesitate to contact Jammie. She knows everything you want. You see her on the streets of Gaylord and you want to quiz her on where your loved one is buried in our cemeteries. She has all 3 of our cemeteries basically memorized. She's always telling me, so in section such and such, I'm like, I don't know what that means. I know that there's sections in the cemetery. I have no idea where one is. So don't ask me a question on that. I know the people that I have gone to bury, but I couldn't tell you what section they're in. And so it's really quite beautiful and peaceful. And I do agree. So thanks, Jammie, for joining us
Thanks
today
for having me
on the Coffee Corner. Jammie's my first guest ever on the Coffee Corner, so and we talk about cemeteries.
I'll talk about cemeteries all day long.
So, well, you have a great day. We love you all, and take care, and God bless. Bye.
Bye.
We get our best view.
That's right. Want a little simple fact about me? I used to be a model. I was Little Miss Empire State, New York, which is a step below Miss New York.
That's you got a crown?
I do.
I'm not editing this part out. Just for that. This is the best moment of my life.
Are you serious?
I'm like, you were Miss America.
No, Little Miss New York.